Hey, you want it? I got it. Let's talk about it. Hey, everyone. Please remember, this is Raw and Uncut. Welcome to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. Let me know how you're feeling. Don't forget to ring that bell for next content. All right, let's get into it. SmackDown. SmackDown tonight, I mean, it wasn't good, it wasn't bad. I thought they would like follow up for some things that happened, after SummerSlam. Knowing SummerSlam night two, basically had a lot of the SmackDown matches on it and stuff. But anyway, we'll talk about that as we go. All right, we have John Cena coming out. Okay, saying that WWE was afraid to come to Montreal and all that other stuff because of the crowd being so loud, and that he thinks that the crowd would have taken over the show and stuff like that. I mean, going in saying that he's not, that he's afraid of Brock Lesnar, but I don't understand why he's afraid of Brock Lesnar. I mean, I understand he's had some tough matches with Brock Lesnar, but Cody Rhodes is the man. He overcomes and everything, and eventually he gets the upper hand. And I don't understand why Brock Lesnar fears him. But anyway, I still don't understand, and a lot of people probably still don't understand. And even kind of basically, John Cena even said it. Why would he challenge Brock Lesnar, to a match and stuff? And when he came out, at SummerSlam and destroyed John Cena, f bombed him and stuff. But John Cena, was like, he ain't a fool, so why would he, do that? But anyway, as it goes on and everything, John Cena is saying that, he's not afraid of anybody, and anybody back there, if they, want to challenge him, come on out. If you want some, come get some. And then out comes Logan Paul. And then Logan Paul comes out, starts talking all his crazy antics and everything, saying that he's the best, he's what it is, as far as WWE is concerned. And then he, says that John Cena even said that he was the best, the future, and even better than John Cena. But I would say Logan Paul is good, but he ain't as good as John Cena. John Cena has a legend and everything, and then John Cena again was saying that, he was afraid that the people will forget about him and stuff like that. John Cena, you've been in the game for 25 years and nobody's gonna miss you. Everybody's gonna miss you. You're a household name, John Cena. So you did your thing and stuff. And then as Logan Paul is talking, talking all his Yankee dank and stuff, here comes Drew McIntyre attacking John Cena. As John Cena, is getting beat down by Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, out comes Cody Rhodes. And, Cody comes out and saves them. They're battling and stuff like that. And John Cena challenges Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. And also he accepts Logan Paul's challenge for Clash in Paris. So it'll be John Cena and Logan Paul in a match at Clash in Paris. So go figure. But anyway, he challenges both of them to a match and everything, which would be the main event, of the evening. Then we get the Motor City Machine Guns coming out against JC Mateo and Tala Tonga. Um, why this match is happening, I don't know. I guess it's just a filler and stuff like that. I mean, it's just another tag team joining with the other tag teams. I guess we'll be seeing each other, seeing them wrestle against each other 100 times, a day, 100 times a week together. We'll keep seeing the same matches, but hopefully that's not true. But as the match goes on, it was a pretty decent match and everything. Jason Mateo and Teletunga, they win, they win the match and stuff. And then Solo gets in there, starts talking and saying that, JC Mateo and Teletunga or the MFTs will be the next tag team champions. And, Solo's talking about, he's a champ and, he's a dominant champ and nobody can beat him or anything like that. But then Nick Aldis comes out and says that he has somebody for him, and out comes Sami Zayn and stuff. So Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa, they're going at it and stuff. This match was, yeah, I mean, it was okay. They MFT tried to interfere in the match. Sammy handled his thing and handled his job, handled his work and stuff like that. And he ends up rolling up Solo Sikoa for the win. It was a non-title match, but that leaves him for a title match now since he did beat the U.S. champion and stuff. So I'm sure that's probably going to be a match put forward at Clash in Paris. So, and then they had a little thing with the ESPN and saying that WrestleMania will be, streaming on ESPN in 2026. Um, and for that stream, it's going to cost you like $30 to stream. So I think they're trying to do it to where they're going to try to have at least two two WrestleManias. One in Riyadh and the other one here in the United States. Um, all I can say is wait for the details and stuff because it's coming out pretty soon. You will all know and stuff. And then we have a little segment with Wyatt Six and they're being champions. It was weird and stuff, but who cares about that and stuff? And DIY and the Street Profits, and DIY blaming the Street Profits for Candice LeRae being hurt, falling out the ring, and then they're saying, well, why was she there in the first place and stuff like that. So basically, it ends up, with them being in the match next week against each other. Climbing that ladder again, I guess, to fight for the tag team titles sooner or later down the road. Then we get the Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. What a waste of time. I have no idea where they were going with this. You was figuring they would come out and celebrate the fact that they are tag team champions and stuff like that. But then Charlotte kind of try to make it all about her and then give a little bit of credit to Alexa and stuff. So that was a little crazy and a little weird and stuff, and she came out with the Lily doll as a present, and then she came out with another doll, Charlie. But Charlie got a pop. It was kind of kooky and crazy, but Charlie got a pop and everything, which is cool. So the crowd was involved in it and stuff, um, but they still not said that they were friends. Alexa was asking, not Alexa, but Charlotte was asking Alexa to come in close for a hug, and everything, but then out comes Chelsea Green. And Chelsea Green's coming out, messing with the people, they're saying that she's Canadian, but, the Canadian people there in Montreal, you know, um, were crazy. In that she should turn in her passport and stuff, saying that judging her there, trying to show love for Charlotte and Alexa, they were hubs, and they didn't know champions, because they've never seen champions often, where they're from and stuff. So it was crazy. Nick Aldis comes out, and basically tells Chelsea, "Hey, look, you and Charlotte tonight, you know, there's a match." So Charlotte, Green and Chelsea Green and Charlotte Flair, they had their match. Like I said, this is raw and uncut. So the match was okay. It was decent. There was a few flops and fumbles in there, um, and everything. Her um, service tried to get involved, but Alexa Bliss, she kind of took care of that situation. Charlotte ends up, they bring the cake in that Charlotte got for Alexa, and they bring the cake in, and then Charlotte puts Chelsea's green move on her into the cake. So she face plants her into the cake and then figure eights her and stuff. And the match is over. Charlotte wins. Then we have Carmelo Hayes and The Miz. Carmelo Hayes is coming to try to go talk to Nick Aldis to get himself, a U.S. title match. And then The Miz, intercepts him and tells him that, he was working on it, that he was going to talk to Nick Aldis, about that and everything. But then you come to find out that Nick Aldis wasn't even in the office. So what's going to happen next week when Carmelo Hayes is looking to have a title match and probably not get it? Will the Miz come through? Will Nick Aldis listen to the Miz, and will Carmelo Hayes get his um, title match next week? So please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. Let me know how you're feeling. Then we have Tiffany Stratton, in her backstage promo, saying that she's been champ for 261 days, right, and that she's going to keep defending the title like she's always done, like she's unbeatable is what she's saying. And then Jade Cargill shows up and tells her, "Hey, look, I want a match." Basically wanting to get a rematch, and she said, "But in time she's going to get that title and stuff, And Tiffany says, well, Jade is telling her to be thankful that her foot was on the rope. So that was the only reason why Jade didn't win the title, because Tiffany's foot did hit the rope and stuff, and it was a break. And so, and Tiffany won the medal and at SummerSlam. So there's going to be a rematch and stuff like that. And then you get what's her name? Ah, man, I'm lost. My mind has gone. But anyway, that segment is over and stuff, and then we get the match with Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre against John Cena and Cody Rhodes. But before the match, you had John Cena and R-Truth in the backstage, doing a segment, and they're kind of miming each other. And then John Cena starts blaming R-Truth for everything John Cena did for the last 5 months and everything, as far as being heel and turning on everybody and stuff. So that was pretty cool. It was pretty funny and everything. But anyway, we get to the match with Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, John Cena and Cody Rhodes. The match was okay. It was pretty good. Um, and everything. I mean, I don't know why I don't know, because Logan Paul has nothing to do with John Cena and Drew McIntyre. We're trying to figure out how this is, and the writing with the creative writing. There's always been a problem. People already know, is a problem with the writing. Some of the matches really don't make any sense to why they're happening and stuff. But anyway, the match is okay, and then all of a sudden Logan Paul, gives a low blow to John Cena, and then they go on and they fight off and everything like that. Then Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, they're doing their battle and stuff like that. Cody have the upper hand, and all of a sudden, Drew McIntyre hits um, Cody Rhodes with the title. Um, Cody Rhodes goes down. Drew McIntyre grabs the belt. He looks at it. The referee makes him, and he kind of puts it down. Then he's looking at Cody as he's hugged up against the announcer's table, and then he claymores Cody Rhodes through the announcer table, and he starts talking smack. And that's where everything ends. So next week is gonna be something leading up to Clash in Paris. So all right, with that, I really want to go in and get crazy but that'll be for another video. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. Let me know how you're feeling. Deuces. God bless. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.